So Stacey, can you introduce yourself to everybody?
Yeah, I'm Stacey Borden. I'm the founder and executive director of New Beginners Reentry Services.
Now, way before that though, like, what is your connection to this city? How long have you lived in this city? How long have you been here?
I am what they call an OP girl. I went to school in Orchard Park. I grew up down Nubian Square. I have 12 siblings. I've been in Roxbury, Dorchester, not my whole life because I kind of moved. My mom sent me to Atlanta. I started really getting in trouble in 1982. Was one of my first arrests. I am a formerly incarcerated woman, but I'm Bostonian for sure.
So I just wanted to lift up like the work that you're doing specifically with women.
Yeah.
Is not only big here in Mass. I feel like it's a national thing from my perspective that I haven't seen. How did you go from just being someone in the community to learning the business and learning all the things you've learned to open up like you got a lot of relationships, you got a lot of business going on.
Yeah.
How did that happen though?
You know, it happened because as a young girl, I come from sexual trauma and I didn't have a voice, and that led me into drug addiction, to criminal behavior, into a cage. And that was going on for a good part of 30 years. And so my last 3.5-year sentence, the women in prison in Framingham, in state prison, you know, kind of enlightened me. Took me by the hand and was like, what are you doing to yourself? You're gonna get in here and you're gonna be in here for the rest of your life. And so when I'm starting to hear their stories, it was directly related to what was happening to me. Sexual trauma, drug abuse, domestic violence. Sexual trauma is probably the most prevalent of incarcerated people, and that's for men and women.
Wow.
And so the next day, Judge Coffey in Quincy Court humanized me, and I couldn't process a judge talking to me. And I think instantly I was enlightened to trust this process, tell my truth, and just tell him what's happening. And because I did that, he offered me some support, saying, what do I need? I knew what I needed. I needed to go back to Framingham, although my brain was saying, dumbass, don't go back to prison.
Right.
But I needed to be with my sisters who was raising me. Because I knew if I came back out, I was going to do the same thing, expecting different results. And so my determination was big. I came home 2010. I had a probation officer that was amazing. Not at the beginning. You know, she asked me what I wanted, and I said, you know, I want to go to school for criminal justice. I want to go back and get my sisters out of jail. And she said, and I said, don't do that. Don't be like the rest of them. I don't want to go backwards. I just want to go forward. I want a different perspective. I want to help. I made a promise to them women I was coming to get them, and I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to keep my promise. And so I just had tunnel vision. I went to school, I got my master's in mental health because I have mental health. I got a master's in mental health. I was like, now I need to understand addiction. I went back and got my license as substance abuse counselor. I went back and said, you know, I have to take some business courses if I'm an open house. How do I do that? I don't know what I'm doing. I took a course at Boston College, Professor Gianari, who allows formerly incarcerated people to come in and sit next to corporate law students. And I learned some business. I learned budgeting and how to get my 501c3, and I just took off from there and kept learning, kept asking, kept raising my hand as a student.
Thank you for that, because I think, you know, the whole point of this event, and probably the last question to you, is we tend to meet in the work.
Yeah.
We tend to meet at a meeting or something, and for me, I feel so good seeing you here and us coming together in our environment, because most of the time we're trying to explain to people things we already know.
Yeah.
We know how to heal. We know how to move forward. And so for you, can you explain why this is our first event, but why is this important, what we're trying to do, connecting people just to meet as themselves for an event like this?
You know, I think, you know, first of all, when I get to call nephew over here, whenever nephew Joseph Bennett is saying, let's go, I'm showing up. I like to be around people who are literally doing some serious work. Not saying all of us aren't doing serious work, But when you come from where we come from, I knew his dad. His dad was one of my big brothers. And so my heart is full whenever I see Joseph, too. Yard time.
Yard time.
I go into the men's prison called yard time, you know, and so I show up. I think that tonight I thought it was something different. But Dennis, when I saw your picture, I'm like, I gotta show up. There's some serious men. Like women, you all call women to the table. Not all of us do that. Our voices aren't ever heard. And by the way, I don't just have women anymore. I help men and women. Because
it has went from a reentry home to
a day center.
A day center.
They're coming in.
You're the housing guru. I have women that are released to my region, a whole nother county, and they speak your name and they seek you out.
Yeah.
Even for housing in our county.
Yeah.
They seek you out to understand the system and how to get in. We just want to thank you. We're going to be filming.
Thank you.
If people want to get in contact and figure out how to... So this is an organization you should be donating to.
Yes.
You should be contributing. You should... And go. Do a site visit. Stacey will meet you and show you the work. So if people want to get in contact with you, how would they do that?
They could call 781-807-1741 or www.newbeginnersreentryservices.org.
Thank you.
Or we're at 36 Gaston Street. Our doors are open Monday through Thursday, right here in Dorchester.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you.